this drawing, I should write the name here. It's for Pina Colada Day. I mean, I'm not a fan of pineapples or um, coconuts. I don't like the artificial taste of coconut, but like real coconuts I like. But yeah, it's Pina Colada Day, and I was just thinking, where's the perfect place to have a pina colada? And yeah, it seems like it should be on the water. And today I think this is for July 11th, but we're just going to say July on here. So yeah, it's Pina Colada Day, and this is where you should have it. Now, here is our ramp leaning out to our little dock on the water. And here on the top of this pole, we have our little coconut with a straw in it so you can drink some fresh coconut milk, and a little flower, just for aesthetics. So this is what we're going to draw. I'm on, this is about the size of a sheet of paper in my sketchbook, so it's about 8 by 11 thereabouts, but this is going to be in portrait. And we're starting off, always start with the middle, know where the middle of your paper is, and it's about here. So above middle will be our horizon line. Above the middle is the horizon line. So that's the middle. I'll keep my finger there so I know it's above. And I will do my best to draw a straight line. No promises with this. And with all the sketches, you're going to draw lightly first. Draw lightly, and then you can go back with the darker, deeper lines. Okay, so then for our dock, we're going to start with just a basic triangle, and then we'll build it out for the roof line. So here is the middle. Here's the middle. So it's going to be an upper quadrant. You can pick left or right, whichever one. But we really don't want anything like directly in the middle of our paper because the eye will just look there and it'll be boring. So pick a side. Okay. So creating the triangle roof. Okay. So we have the large triangle, and I drew just a horizontal line through the middle, and then we'll flare it out some to meet that horizontal line. Okay. And then we'll add those poles, the stanchions there, the columns to hold it up. We don't want it too close to the edge. We're doing our best to just draw vertical lines here. It doesn't matter how long the lines are. At this point, it doesn't matter. Just doing our best to make them straight. So, boom, we have a number 11. It's almost straight. And then we're drawing 2 more parallel lines to make them slow columns. Okay. Next, I'll add the platform for us to walk out on, and this is just another horizontal line. And you can cross through those columns there. Okay, now it's looking like a hut type situation here, but that's fine. We're gonna build upon it. Okay, so inside of these columns, that's where we are adding um, the railings, and these will go out at an angle. So this railing here on the far side, it'll be at a shorter angle than our middle line here, and that just adds to the perspective. So starting inside of the column, drawing a diagonal line, it goes off of the page here. There's our first, and here's the middle line starting inside of that column. And it won't go straight down. No, it's not going straight down like this. It will be at a slight angle, once again to add to that illusion of perspective. Okay, so not vertical, slightly at an angle. And I'm just drawing this lightly to make sure I like it first. Maybe go this way just a little more. Okay, so we have our two lines. Now we're going to draw those inside lines here. It needs parallel lines. That's it. So drawing that second parallel line. And this one, it starts off closer together here, and then it goes farther apart as it goes off the page. Not too much, but it just flares out a little bit. Okay. And then similar situation here. It flares out just a little. Okay, so I'm drawing that third diagonal line here for the bottom of this railing, and it's going to be a slight gap in between, but it'll do the same motion where it flares out just a little as it goes off the page. I feel like this sort of curves somewhat, but next, really, it's just adding these, I guess this is railings on top here, but yeah, we're adding vertical lines in between. So here at the top in the middle here, it'll be, these vertical lines will be closer together. Close together, close together. But as it goes out, they start to space out more. They'll be farther apart. So this is really close. Close. And as we go down the line, it spaces out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have railings. All right, next, we still need like the landing dock for our little ocean paradise there. So we already have this first horizontal line that's like the back of the dock. So we're adding a lower horizontal line for the front here. And this is really just how I'm gonna cross over. Let's just make this a little sharper. Okay, so notice I added this bottom line for the base of our dock, right? I'll clean it up a little bit. And I'll completely erase it there. And once I added that bottom line, then I connected the top of the dock with the bottom with a diagonal line so it flares outward. Okay, we don't want it just to be vertical line. No, it has to flare outward some. Then once it flares out, then we're going to add another horizontal line below it in this lower horizontal line. Then we connect it with a small vertical line. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Clean it up some. erase this, clean it up, make it cute. Okay. Yeah, now we have a platform. Okay, next we need like some stanchions. I mean, you can have it just floating in the water, but I think it'll be more realistic if we see a little bit of the stanchions, the poles that are holding it. So here, I'm just going to sort of continue that same vertical line going down. So a little number 11, I'll do the same thing on the side here. Little number 11. Can't really see that one, but little number 11. There. Okay. And you know what? I'll do like a little curved line. So this can be like the hole where it goes through the floorboards there. Oh! Ooh, ooh. That is so annoying. All right, let's keep going. So for this, so for our, I don't want to say plank, but you know, the pier going out, we'll add just these slight small horizontal lines for the wood planks. And it's the same idea that we used here with the railing, where these lines are smaller and closer together. Here, closer to the horizon line, but as we go out, as we go to the bottom of the page, they're more spaced out. So here we'll have, and these are really haphazard. Yes, they're vertical, but it's not like consistent. I'm not counting these lines or anything. I just want to make sure they're close together. And doing my best to make it horizontal. And I know these are farther apart. I'm just going to go ahead and draw some of those. Closer together. Okay, so we have the planks, and I'll add, oh, let me erase that. Here and here. And I'll add some planks, boards here. Once again, these are closer together because it's farther away. It's closer to the horizon line. All right, and then the railing here, we know that it's railing here, but sort of where our eye is looking down on it, so we can't readily see the vertical railing on the side. So I'm just going to sort of imply it by adding horizontal line here. So this implies the top of the railing. And then I'll add a smaller line here in the middle to show maybe this is where it starts. And then I'll get rid of this outside line. And then maybe it goes like this, goes inward. Okay. All right, next, we can add some more detail to the roof of this hut here. Maybe it's like a straw roof, and that's just adding texture. So the inside of that triangle there, I'm going to get rid of it. Inside of the triangle, get rid of it. And just going with the angle of the triangle here, going outward, just adding some random lines, but I'm going with the shape of the triangle. Once I do that, there's a little bit of texture here where the straw ends, so it's just little zigzags. I'll add little zigzags here, and I'll round it out, do the same thing for the bottom to show like the cut ends of the straw thatch roof zigzag. All right. All right. So there's our little getaway. Next, we need a drink to take to the getaway. And we're starting off with the pole, the stanchion that it's sitting on. So it crosses over a pier here. So I'm starting with a vertical line and then another vertical line. I don't want it to line up directly in the middle. Nothing should be directly in the middle. So I'm looking here, that's the middle, so I'll make it on the other side of the middle will be my corresponding vertical line. Okay. All right, next is an oval. This will be the cut top of the column for us to place our drink, our coconut. So don't think football, just think oval here. So we'll connect the tops and round out the corners. Oh. Okay, so we have an oval. Here, and then a circle on top for our little coconut. This is probably the hardest part, drawing a coconut, drawing a circle. Coconut looks slumpy. I have to say, when I first drew this, I drew it with 3 circles in it, so it looked like a bowling ball. So we're only going to draw 2. 1, 2. Okay, and we'll place 2 diagonal lines for our straw to come out of one of these. It's like an upside down L. But that looks too mechanical. We can't just leave it as that, so we're going to add in a little circle oval here at the end for the opening of the straw. Then we'll erase that angle and soften it up by adding these little like petal curves for the bend in the straw. Great, so then on the inside of the straw, we're going to erase those extra lines. We don't need them. You can color a little bit in here, shade a little, and show that it's actually a hole. Okay. We'll erase these extra lines inside of the column here to clean it up. All right, so now we need our little flower. We're only putting 5 petals on this flower. I like to start with the first one. It's like a teardrop, like this. There's the first, and the second is sort of leaning over. Okay, so then from these 2 petals, we're going to build out the rest of the flower. So on the side here, we have 1 petal that's hanging out on its own. The 4th one starts at the middle and just adds on to the top. And then the final petal is really just a curve that's connecting 2 petals together. There we go. And we're erasing the insides. These extra lines here on the inside, we don't need those anymore. Now, if you're just using a pencil, you can go ahead and shade the inside. If you're using colors, you can add the darker color, starts here on the inside, and then it gradually goes out, gradient goes out and gets lighter, but I'll demonstrate just with the pencil, darker towards the center, and then gets lighter as it goes out. Dark in the center, and gets lighter. Lighter. And darker in the center, and then lighter. Okay. So this is our little getaway to drink our pina colada. So this pier, this dock, it goes out into the water, and I'll just imply that by adding a few wavy lines here close to the horizon. Remember, things closer to the horizon are closer together. They're a little bit smaller, and then they get bigger as they go outward. So I'll make sure there are some waves here under the dock. And you can add as many or as few as you like, but you need some, okay? We got to know that it's water. And it's up to you. You can decide where the sand is and where it meets the water, or maybe it's all water. It's up to you. But yes, happy Pina Colada Day. For me, it's the pina colada without the pineapple. Maybe it's just a colada. But boom, there it is. Enjoy.